the very beginning of the human era, we have seen the journey of our advancement. Humans started gathering resources, upgraded their lives, and made their livelihood less arduous. But along with these developments, a race to conquer the world started among humans. Humans learned warfare, upgraded their weapons, and learned warfare tactics. As a result, immense numbers of battles were fought in the history, beginning from the Battle of Megiddo of ancient Egypt to the current Israel-Gaza conflicts. We came across the battles fought by Alexander and those by Napoleon, fought by the Mughals, and also the first nuclear battle, the World War II.
Ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe.
It is difficult to track down one single event that sparked the conflict, for ultimately it was a series of events that conspired together to eventually light the flame of war.
The world's most hated treaty, the Treaty of Versailles, thus starting World War II in 1939.
The whole world is against Hitler and Hitlerism.
But the wars are not just fought with bullets and bombs. Sometimes the most dangerous weapon is indeed an idea. As armies marched, another force was silently shaping the war propaganda. Governments needed public support, and they knew how to get it. Through newspapers, posters, and radios. Informations were not just shared, they were controlled. Each side created heroes and villains. They glorified their soldiers and demonized the enemy. Fear and hope were mixed into stories. The goal was simple: to control how people thought. If you could believe, you could control actions. Citizens become soldiers, not just with weapons, but with blind faith. Just like in the last lesson of our textbook, we often realize the worth of truth only when it's on the verge of being silenced. But amidst all the noise, clarity finds its way, sometimes even in a language we didn't expect. To gain a broader perspective on how information has been used as a weapon across time, we had a conversation with our social science teacher, Sarita ma'am. Ma'am, in history, do you recall a time when propaganda plays a central role in shaping people's beliefs?
सबसे पहले आप लोगों को याद होगा 9th में आप लोगों ने नाजी चैप्टर पढ़ा था, है ना, हिटलर। तो उसी चैप्टर में अगर हम देखते हैं, नाजी आइडियोलॉजी जो थी, जो नाजी थिंकिंग थी, वो तो सिर्फ एक पार्टी की थी, केवल एक ग्रुप की थी, कुछ लोगों की थी। तो कैसे पूरा का पूरा जर्मनी ने उसे फॉलो किया, तो दैट इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल। हम देखते हैं कि पूरा जर्मनी जो है अगेंस्ट हो गया था ज्यूज के, जिप्सीज के, पॉलिश पीपल के। आइडियोलॉजी ही तो थी नाजी पार्टी की कि उन्हें एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप से, कम्युनिटी से प्रॉब्लम थी जिसे वो हटाना चाहते थे, और उसके लिए उन्होंने अपना प्रोपेगेंडा बनाया। प्रोपेगेंडा क्या बनाया उन्होंने कि टीचिंग में उन्होंने, स्कूल में टीचर्स जो हैं, स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं, उन्हें उस तरीके से उनका माइंड वॉश करना शुरू किया कि ज्यूज खराब होते हैं, जिप्सीज खराब होते हैं, इनकी पूरी नस्ल ही खराब होती है, इन्हें ख़त्म कर देना चाहिए। और इसे इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए उन्होंने फिर अदर डिफरेंट वेज अपनाए, चाहे वो आपका गैस चैम्बर्स बनाने हैं, चाहे वो आपके घेटोज बनाने हैं। इसके अलावा एक और एग्जांपल मैं आपको दे सकती हूँ, जो कोल्ड वॉर ईरा हम देखते हैं, जो यूएस एंड रशिया के बीच में आप देखते हो 1947 के बाद से बहुत सालों तक, आप 15-20 साल मान सकते हो कि वो ईरा हमने देखा जिसमें मेन वॉर क्या थी कोल्ड वॉर की, जिसमें कैपिटलिज्म एंड सोशलिज्म इन आइडियोलॉजीज पर ही तो था कि रशिया उस समय बहुत जबरदस्त एक सोशलिस्ट कंट्री के रूप में उभर रहा था। तो रशिया ये चाहता था कि पूरा वर्ल्ड सोशलिस्ट बन जाए, जिसके खिलाफ यहाँ पर यूएस खड़ा हो गया था कि नहीं, कैपिटलिज्म है। तो इन्हीं चीजों को उन्होंने अपने अपने देश में अलग तरीके से प्रेजेंट किया। अगर हम यूएस को देखते हैं तो उन्होंने मूवीज एंड फिल्म्स के थ्रू लोगों को बताया कि सोशलिस्ट जो है आइडियोलॉजी, वो एक अच्छी आइडियोलॉजी नहीं है। उसी तरीके से रशिया में, आप रशियन रेवोल्यूशन भी 9th में ही पढ़कर आए हो, जिसमें ये बताया गया कि कैपिटलिज्म कितना खराब है और कैपिटलिज्म जो है देश में नहीं होना चाहिए, अगेंस्ट द वर्कर है। तो ये तो बहुत पुराने समय से हम देख रहे हैं कि जो भी वॉर का एजेंडा होता है या वो जो जिस तरीके के अपनी पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं, जो लोगों के सामने प्रेजेंट करते हैं, उसमें तो फिर पूरे लोगों के बिलीव्स, थिंकिंग ही चेंज हो जाती है।
Ma'am, do you think even today young minds like us are being influenced in the ways we don't always realize?
You people are following social media very much, है ना? तो आपने जो पसंद किया, YouTube वही कंटेंट आपको दिखा रहा है। तो इस तरीके से आपका जो पूरा का पूरा आपकी रियलाइजेशन, आपको पता ही नहीं चलता कि धीरे धीरे आप किसी और ही दुनिया में चले जाते हो देखते देखते। रील्स का तो सोशल मीडिया के साथ तो ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। हम अनरियलिस्टिक चीज़ों को देखने लगते हैं, अनरियलिस्टिक चीज़ों पर ही बिलीव करने लगते हैं, और जिसका हमें पता ही नहीं चलता है कि हम किस दुनिया में चले गए हैं। ठीक है, सोशल मीडिया है, इसमें आपकी इवन न्यूज़ भी अगर हम देखें, मैं अगर एज एन इंडिविजुअल अपने व्यूज़ दूँ कि जो हमारी न्यूज़ में जो न्यूज़ दिखाई जा रही हैं, कई बार वो भी मिसलीड कर रही हैं। हमें पता ही नहीं है उनकी ऑथेंटिफिकेशन कितनी है कितनी नहीं है। बट मीडिया इज़ अ प्लेटफॉर्म जिस पर हम आँख बंद करके ट्रस्ट करते हैं। वी हैव नो अदर ऑप्शंस कि हम उसकी ऑथेंटिफिकेशन के लिए जाएं, हम बाहर निकलें और करेक्ट है या नहीं है, इन चीज़ों के ऊपर हम काम करें। एक टाइम था जब विमेन को घर में ही लिमिटेड दिखाया जाता था, मूवीज़ में, फिल्म्स में, पॉलिटिक्स में। बट आज क्या है, आपको मीडिया ही आपको एनकरेज कर रही है कि आप जो है, आपके पास राइट्स होने चाहिए, आपके पास डिसीजन लेने की पावर होनी चाहिए, आप घर से बाहर निकलो, आप काम करो। तो मीडिया ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, मैं रॉन्ग नहीं बोल रही हूँ मीडिया को, बट वो हमारी लाइफ को चेंज कर रही है। यस, इट इज़ ट्रू कि उन्होंने हमारे थॉट प्रोसेस को, हमारी लाइफ को चेंज किया है और उस पर इम्पैक्ट किया है। कई बार वो इम्पैक्ट बहुत अच्छा होता है, कई बार इम्पैक्ट वो नेगेटिव भी होता है। तो मुझे लगता है ये स्टेटमेंट बिल्कुल ठीक है कि हमें रियलाइज नहीं होता हम किस वे में हम जा रहे हैं। हमारी ही डिसीजन मेकिंग पर वो डिपेंड करता है कि हमें क्या आगे पर्सनैलिटी हमारी बनेगी।
This conversation ends. One thought takes hold. What about those who are never ever mentioned? A war does not only harm soldiers, it affects the livelihood of the civilians, children, and all those innocent creatures who don't even know what a war is. In fact, a war brutally shakes the soul of a nation. As of historical records, around 1.5 to 3 billion lives got affected during Napoleonic wars. 6 to 10 million civilian deaths have been recorded during World War I, 50 to 55 million during World War II, and around 50,000 during current Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Gaza conflicts. Only due to large-scale wars, cities like Thebes and Tyre got entirely destroyed. Moscow set on fire. Widespread famines spread across various regions around the world. Cities like Hiroshima, Nagasaki were nuked, which ultimately destroyed generations.
The first atomic bomb struck an enemy target. In this instant, Robert Oppenheimer recalls a passage from a sacred book of the Hindu.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Many names fade away, but some memories live in the pages of history. Our English teacher, Mr. Shalin sir, has uncovered some of these lesser known truths. So sir, with so many countries involved in conflicts, either directly or indirectly, some say war is not always fought on the battlefield. It is always fought with narratives, strategies, and even science. Do you think the modern world is slowly accepting conflict as a tool of diplomacy?
See, conflict is not something new. Actually, conflict is as old as our history. And now, not even now, even in older days, conflict was always a tool of strategy and all that. But in today's world, we are seeing that conflicts are increasing so fast. Almost every country is involved in some sort of conflicts. So definitely they are now the tool of governing something, tool of what we can say showing your power, tool of demand and all that. So conflict is definitely now a part of a diplomacy, and every country has a plus and minus. They see their gains and what we can say losses, and then they involve themselves in conflict.
Sir, as someone surrounded by books and histories, You have probably seen the pattern of power play repeats. But in today's fast-moving world, with people consuming information so quickly, do you feel the world is truly learning from the history or just repackaging it?
Actually, one very good saying about history is this, that if you take lessons from the history, history doesn't repeats. But if you are not taking lessons from the history, it always repeats. And now we are looking that the world is not taking any lessons from the history. We have seen the World War First, World War Second, and so many wars, but even then we have not taken any lessons. And the present scenario, we have the world of wars. Every country is involving in some sort of conflict, war, and all that. So actually, we are not taking any lessons from the history. We are just history is repeating itself. We all can say.
Even after knowing the consequences of war today, there are many people who are still supporting it. Also, due to the greed of authority and powers, nations are jumping into the battles.
It is clearly evident from the current Russia-Ukraine crisis, the Israel-Gaza conflict, and the India-Pakistan clash happened a few weeks ago. But the root cause of this conflict is terrorism. One supports terrorism and others destroy country with terrorism, which leads to large-scale clashes. Each nation wants to show that it is the most powerful in the world. Each nation wants to show off its army, weapons, and power. Due to this mindset of nation, conflicts across several parts of the world are still going on. Behind every modern conflict lies a scientific trail, from cyber welfare to climate tensions. Arpita ma'am, help us decode these complex connections.
Ma'am, when we think of wars, we often focus on damage and destruction. But from a scientific perspective, how do you see wars like Russia-Ukraine affecting global science and research?
Okay, as long as wars are concerned, basically they are a kind of, the country which attacks, they demonstrate their power. And when it comes to power, only science and technology is such a thing, apart from the military and ammunitions and all. Science and technology which is pertaining to research and development is the only thing that helps you take an edge over other countries. So definitely it's basically a showcase of the power in terms of everything. And I think if a country is scientifically really backed, like for example, if I look at Israel, being such a small country, but their research and development, the science and technology is so at their top of the game, that in the current scenario, as we can see, a lot of wars are going between the Middle East and Israel. Israel is emerging as a top leader. So yeah, definitely I would say science is playing a very important role in. It can, initiate the war as well, or it can, of course, seize it.
Ma'am, do you believe that science can play a role in preventing future wars?
Yeah, definitely. Science can play a vital role in preventing future wars only if we believe in a mutual exchange of ideas in terms of science and development, rather than presenting it as a weapon, because science is such a thing, it has both pros and cons. So as you know, the development of atom bomb, that was of course a very beautiful discovery of science, but as we all know that USA misused it to drop it on Japan. So definitely, if you're using science in a positive way, if you're exchanging your technologies, you can definitely prevent wars, because it can be helpful to restore peace rather than, disturbing it. So yeah, it's only depends on the minds which are into this field, and how they are using it. Are they using it for the benefit of the humankind, or they are using it to showcase their power or destroying the humankind? So it all depends on the people, but yeah, if used judiciously, if used properly, science can prevent future wars.
Wars don't just target lands or people. Sometimes they attack our future, and it is through awareness and collaboration that we can protect it. Now we are the youth of the world. We are the generation of the future. Our thoughts and wisdom have the capability to turn the world away from the direction of such wars in future. Our single thought affects the future and well-being of oneself and the world.
We must understand this responsibility and contribute ourselves towards our planet. I hope you all have understood the various aspects of the war, their roots and their impact, and the silent stories that often go unheard. Through voices, visuals, and forgotten chapters, we try to uncover not just the history of wars, but also the humanity that gets buried beneath. Let this documentary not just be a reminder. Let this be a precaution that peace is built when awareness meets action.